Hello, my name is Ray with Procore, and this is a quick demonstration of our Acumatica integration. When you first land into Procore, you'll land at the Company Tools portfolio screen. From here, you'll navigate to the ERP Integrations tab underneath Financial Management. In this demonstration, we'll go over the different entities that synchronize between Procore and Acumatica, starting with standard cost codes and cost types. In Acumatica, you would set up standard cost codes and account groups. Those will sync over into the screen here in Procore. So within Acumatica, you would set up your cost codes, as well as your account groups. And then you would hit the sync cost codes and cost types button, and those would appear here in the screen. We use these standard cost codes and cost types for job creation within Procore. Next is vendors. Vendors is a bidirectional integration. You can set up your vendors in Acumatica, hit the refresh vendor list, and those vendors will appear here in the staging area. In the staging area, simply click Add to Procore to take any of your Acumatica vendors and add them to your Procore directory. You can create the vendors first in your Procore directory, send that vendor here to the ERP accounting approver. From here, the ERP accounting approver will choose the type of vendor or vendor class, choose accept, and enter the Acumatica vendor ID that you wish to see this as when it is sent over to AP within Acumatica. Jobs is a bidirectional integration as well. Feel free to create your projects in Acumatica, hit the refresh job list button, and those jobs will appear here in the staging area. From the staging area, simply just choose a Procore project template and click Add to Procore. You can create the projects in Procore first, then send to the ERP accounting approver. The ERP accounting approver will hit accept, type in the job number, type in the customer ID, which is a free text field. And if they want to use a template ID, an Acumatica template ID, feel free to type that in, it's optional. Click export to Acumatica. I will send the project over and set it up within Acumatica. Project tasks, or subjobs, as they're known in Procore, are a bidirectional integration as well. Meaning, I can go into Acumatica, create all the project tasks that are needed for a project, hit the refresh subjobs button, and those project tasks will appear here in the staging area. From the staging area, simply click Add to Procore to bring the project tasks over as subjobs into Procore. Or you can start the process in Procore, meaning create a subjob within Procore, send the subjob to the ERP accounting approver. The ERP accounting approver will hit the accept button, enter the project task ID, and hit export to Acumatica. Budgets is also a bidirectional integration. You can enter your budget in Acumatica and hit the import button. Let's use Stumptown project as an example. If you look at the original budgeted amount for Stumptown project, it's $2,300. Once that's entered in Acumatica, you would see the $2,300 appear here in Procore. Simply click import, and that would bring your Acumatica budget into Procore. You can start the process the other way as well, meaning create a budget in Procore. For an example, I've created a budget for my 0628 to one project. Send the budget over to the ERP accounting approver. The ERP accounting approver will come here, have the option to look at the details and see the breakdown of my $46,500 budget before hitting accept and exporting the budget over to Acumatica. In addition to the budget are budget modifications, meaning I can take dollar amounts from a particular line item and move it to a different line item on my budget. Then I could send that transaction over to the ERP accounting approver. From here, the ERP accounting approver can look at the details as well. This is an example of $100 taken from this line item, or sorry, taken from this line item and added to that line item. It's a net zero transaction. And then from here, the ERP accounting approver can export to Acumatica. Next are commitments, which are purchase orders or subcontracts. That's a one direction integration, meaning they would have to start in Procore and be sent over to Acumatica. Here is a list of our PO, it's a PO and a subcontract ready for export. The ERP accounting approver will take a look, hit accept, and export the PO over to Acumatica. The same process for any subcontract agreements. They would hit accept, enter the subcontract agreement, and hit export to Acumatica. You can also do commitment changes for any commitment that was synchronized with Acumatica. So here's an example of a change to an existing subcontract. So it's a $2,000 additional change or addition. Enter the change order number and hit export to Acumatica. Same with a change to an existing purchase order that's been synchronized between Procore and Acumatica. Create that in Procore, send to the ERP accounting approver. ERP accounting approver will hit accept, enter the change ID, and hit export. We synchronize cost as well. So any costs that have accumulated on any of your synchronized projects will appear in Procore. So here's an example of an integrated project. And looking at the job cost tab, you can see we have the job to date cost column showing how much cost has accumulated so far on this project. In addition to seeing cost here on the job cost tab, you can navigate to a project and go to the direct cost tool. There are 4 different types of costs that synchronize over into our direct cost tool. Payroll, invoices from AP, miscellaneous expenses, and subcontract invoices as well from AP. These are the individual cost transactions that accumulate in Acumatica coming over into Procore. From here, you can actually create a Procore budget tool or budget view that will have drill down capabilities per cost code so that you can get detailed itemized transactions of what is making up your cost per line item. Last is subcontractor invoices. Here's a list of 3 previously synchronized subcontracts that were entered in Procore and that have been already synchronized over to Acumatica. So the process would be, if I had a subcontract that was already synchronized with Procore and Acumatica, that I could come in to Procore, and enter a bill for that previous subcontract, and then send that bill over to Acumatica. So take for an example, this bill, the $3,000 bill here. We go over into Acumatica, payables, bills. Here's my $3,000 bill that I created in Procore and was able to sync over to Acumatica. If you look at the details, you can see that the bill is associated to a specific subcontract. And that brings us to the end of this demonstration. Thank you.